Now, the amazing thing about this Gable Island lighthouse is that there's exactly the same number of blocks on every level all the way up to the top. They just get smaller as they go up. So that's what I do for a living, but there's another side to my life.
When Dad's depressed, he gets impatient and very cross. I feel like I've done something wrong, and I try to help out.
Have you been diagnosed as someone with depression?
Yeah, I've been 15 years ago.
Right.
And started taking medication about 5 years ago, and don't want to take it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm making a doco about it. There's a gazillion ways to tackle depression, so I decided to sample a few.
Depression's a bit like this warm overcoat which is kind of grubby and moth-eaten that you pull on sometimes.
Quite often when we get into depression we lose the motivation and will to actually do things.
But depression really is kind of a sadness of the soul.
Hopeless and helpless over a long period of time.
Descriptions like fog, heaviness, lethargy, lack of hope, disconnectedness and irrational sadness come up all the time. To me, every sound is like a power saw in my head. I'm hostile, irritable, impatient and brittle. When you get to the point where you're looking over bridges to do the calculations as to how easy it would be to jump off, then you know you've got a bit of a problem.
Suicide becomes an option.
Yeah, not intellectually, or not. I won't do it.
No, suicide becomes an option, like going to Africa and helping out the needy. You think that'd be a nice thing to do one day if I decided. It's one of those, kind of like a non-option.
I just don't accept it as an option for me.
Right.
And I think that's because I have children.
Yeah.
I'd rather live miserable than have my children live without me.
Well, maybe you should ask them about that.
They might
Maybe you
suggest
should
it.
take a poll. Maybe that's a little bit selfish. I want to stick around for my children. Well, maybe your children don't want you to stick around. Thanks.
In fact, depression gives sadness, an entirely healthy and appropriate emotion, a bad name.
Laughter and tears come from the same place.
Yeah.
You know?
Emotion.
Yeah, come from the same place. So there is a time to cry. You know, there's a time to feel sad. You know? And that's beautiful, feeling sad. Comedy is flexibility, spontaneity, unconventionality, playfulness, humility, reconciliation, adaptation, accommodation and celebration.
Okay, got those.
Okay, now these can be learned. I teach people how to get in touch with the funny inside themselves. Your mind and your body, you're connected. When you laugh for about 20 minutes, it releases endorphins into your body, the natural painkiller.
1 million Australians survive on daily antidepressant medication. And sadly, antidepressants do not cure depression. They help manage it. And not every patient needs it for life. Just ask a naturopath.
Any person who is on pharmaceutical medication, I believe, should see a psychologist. I think psychological care is mandatory rather than just taking a pill to make things numb. From a naturopathic viewpoint, we tend to work with diet and lifestyle a lot. Exercise at least 20 minutes to an hour every day can actually raise some of those good, happy hormones.
I caught up with a friend of mine who has more than his share of hormones, happy and sad.
You asked me the question, have you ever been depressed? And I said, no, I'm not a depressive character. No, I've never been depressed. Then went on to explain to you that I, over a period of probably the last 10 years, sought help from a variety of mental health professionals. And I think you came away from that conversation going, yeah, sounds like you're pretty depressed.
Lawrence related to me an unusual diagnosis he received from a psychologist.
She reached to the shelf and pulled off this book and said, listen, I'm going to ask you a series of questions today, and you just answer yes to the statements you strongly identify with. And it's like things like, have you always felt unique? It got more and more esoteric, all these questions. When you're eating an orange and think of the colour purple, do you dream about your mother? And so I was going, yes, you certainly, yep, yes, that identifies me. Yeah, that's good. And she shut the book and she said, oh, you're an elemental spirit. And I said, what's an elemental spirit? And she said, an elemental spirit are pixies, fairies, goblins, that kind of thing. And I went, right. So which one am I? And she said, in all sincerity, she said, you're a goblin. I'm living the life of a wild, carefree goblin. I don't even know it.
Most depression sufferers are overwhelmingly normal, often intelligent, often creative, always sensitive, but stuck at the bottom of a hole trying to dig their way out. But if you look hard enough, something good and right and true will always turn up.
This little guy, he's so shy. He's very small. He doesn't like to talk very much at all. He's a funny little fellow who likes to eat the food that is all yellow. The food he likes to eat is called cheese, but sometimes forgets to use his manners and say please. He lives in a little tiny house. He is indeed the most adorable tiny little mouse. What does a mouse say? A mouse says moo. A mouse says cock-a-doodle-doo. A mouse says squeak, squeak.
With a massive range of treatment options, psychotherapy, CBT, NLP, TMS, iridology, reflexology, naturopathy, etc., how can you know what's right for you?
The message I always give people that I'm meeting is that what may fit James may not fit someone else.
So do people think you're a nutter?
Do you?
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, some people do.
I think I'm, fairy or pixie okay.
If she had called me a fairy, I would have upturned the coffee table and said, come on, fairy, bullshit.
I'm trying to sort of do this thing about depression.
That's
and
called
I've
a
been,
placebo effect.
I've just been feeling so good that I have to cast my mind back and think, what did it feel like to be depressed? Yeah. In the midst of winter, I finally learned that there was an invincible summer.
It's early evening as the sun goes down. I'm walking this red earth alone.